Here, that's not appropriate. But I mean, talk about, I mean, that's what he said. You have a moral obligation, at least once in your life, to take your kids to the March for Life. You know, and just a fantastic. We had 3 busloads, only 600 people. We had 3 full busloads every year. I mean, it was, and again, the joy and rewards you get are just, you know, just unbelievable. Taking a stand. It's difficult to take a stand with strangers. It's even more difficult with friends and relatives. I had a close friend from high school. Gosh, I must have been 25, you know, and we went and visited his parents, and his mother pulls me into the kitchen, and she says, Tom, my best friend, he was the only guy at my wedding that wasn't in my family, and he says, Tom's moved in with Pam. So I called Tom up. Now, I hadn't talked to Tom in about 6 months. So I said, hey, I hear you got a new roommate. And he says, yeah, Pam moved in. I said, let me ask you this. If you die tonight, where do you think you'll end up? And he says to me, well, I don't think hell, if that's what you're asking me. I said, well, what's your basis for that? And so I quoted a few scriptures. I said, Tom, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Well, you can imagine that kind of ended the conversation. So I got off the phone, and I wrote him about a 5-page letter, up and down about, and I actually told him, he was engaged to this girl at the time. I said, you two don't have the morals to raise children. So, of course, I didn't hear from him like 6 months. And then all of a sudden I got a letter from him. It says, Bear, I kept your letter, and I read it, and I was furious every time I read it until I realized you were right. Pam's moved out, and we're still getting married. We'd like you to come to the wedding. And we're still friends to this day. But again, that guy was my best friend. But it was one of those, you know, it's the truth is the truth. If he was using cocaine, I would have said something. But now he's going to lose his soul, and I'm not going to say anything because he's my friend. And as Christ said, unless you love me more than mother, brother, daughter, whatever, you are not worthy of me. And again, if you love somebody, you're going to sit there and do that. Oh, I spoke at Hood College, which I don't know if you know, it's a kind of a hoity-toity school right in Frederick there, you know. So met some of the student pro-life people beforehand, and I spoke, and then afterwards we were talking, and there was a gal there. She was a senior, beautiful, I mean, just gorgeous. And she says to me, you know, I just wish that I had said something. She was obviously in the popular crowd. 4 of my friends had abortions 4 years ago in high school. 3 of them are still visibly disturbed. It's totally screwed their life up. And I just didn't have the courage to say something. I knew abortion was wrong, but I didn't want to be one of the